What's up, Wastelanders? How's everybody doing today? I'm doing great, and I hope you are too. It's me, Kiki B. Welcome to a brand new episode of Kiki B Plays Fallout 76. So I did a little video on basic round blueprints ages ago, and y'all have been asking me about roofs ever since. I've had this filmed for months now, and I've been struggling so much with editing lately that it just keeps getting pushed to the bottom of a massive pile. Because while it's not exactly complicated stuff, I actually have a lot to say about roofs on round structures. So I finally decided to make things a little easier on myself, take those literal hours of footage and divide them into slightly more manageable chunks for me editing-wise, and we're going to start today with just the basics. I've got a couple of troubleshooting tips to answer questions that I get asked a lot. I'll be showing you how to make a 10-sided round blueprint for those of you who don't already have that, and then we're going to get to the actual roof. Before we dive into that though, if you love what I do here and you're interested in supporting the channel, why not join our Patreon family? Head on over to patreon.com/KikiB for more info, and of course, make sure you're subscribed and you've turned on those channel notifications so you never miss a video, and maybe leave me a thumbs up and a little comment while you're here to feed that YouTube algorithm so it recommends my videos to even more wonderful folks like yourself. And, join us over on Discord, Instagram, and Twitch. We would love to see you there. Okay, now that's out of the way, let's do the thing. One thing that I hear a lot in the comments on my round blueprint video is I can't place my blueprint down. Well, you're probably actually just doing it wrong. To start, you need a really flat area. The bigger the round blueprint, the flatter it needs to be. But if you've got that, like here at the White Spring or Wade Airport or Tyler County Dirt Track, and you still can't get it to place down, that part's on you. What you gotta do is play around with the height a bit while you're placing it. It needs to be sticking up above the ground a fair bit, like almost half of the foundation is best. And I like to just hold the rotate button while I'm trying to place it, move it up and down a bit, and then spam the place button until it finally places. It's really not hard, it's just a little fiddly. Play around with the height a little bit, keep it spinning, and click place until it goes down. Now, the other thing I get, less often but still often enough, is that folks can't remove the foundations. This one's not on you, it's a weird dependency thing that I accidentally figured out at some point. There are what we're going to call the core foundation pieces in the middle that are like all snapped together in the grid formation that the game wants them to be in, and then there are the overlapping ones around the edges, which create the round shape that are definitely not where the game wants them to be. For some reason, if there are floors overlapping the core foundations, you can't remove the core pieces most of the time. So if you try to remove those first, it'll give you the inaccessible structure message. So all you actually have to do is remove the overlapping foundations first, and the core ones last. Alright, now we're going to make a 10-sided round blueprint for those of you who don't have one. It's pretty much the same as the 16-sided one, except, smaller. So we start with a row of 3 foundations, and I like to use the plain concrete ones because it's easier to figure out when I'm in the center. And you will have to do this in normal build mode, not in free cam. So once you're centered on the middle foundation, remove that foundation and you'll drop down onto the grass. Stay put. Now, in the interim, since I made the other round blueprint video, I've actually started putting a little more effort into preventing those flickering, overlapping floor textures, because they kind of make my brain hurt. So the way that I do that now is pretty simple. Each time I move the foundation, I either raise or lower it just a little bit from the height of its last position. And then I alternate between 2 different walls as I go around to make it easier to keep track of which I've just done, because I get distracted easily, because yay, ADHD. So here I'm using wood doorways for the slightly higher floors and warehouse doorways for the lower ones. Now, the more perceptive among you might realize that I'm going to end with 2 wood walls next to each other, which means 2 higher floors, and you would be correct, but unless you're incredibly precise with raising and lowering each time, they're still going to be very slightly different heights by the time you get there, so no worries. So once that's done, snap the foundations to the outside of the walls. If you're not sure how to do this part, go watch the other video. I'm not covering that in detail again here. Now, for the final part of our non-flickery floor, we're going to put in our center foundation, and we want to lower this one a little bit. Now, if we just try to lower it a hair and be done, it will snap back to its original position because the game wants you to move it more to make it worth its while or something. I don't really get why that's a thing. Anyway, to trick it into thinking that we moved it a lot, we're going to rotate it 90 degrees while we lower it just the teensiest little bit. So this is your finished thing. Blueprint this, don't forget the lonely piece in the center, and place that blueprint down and you're good to go. Again, play with the height and rotate it if you're having trouble placing it. And if we head inside, you'll see that we have no flickering textures. Okay, now we want to add roofs. That's why we're here. I'm going to use the big one as my example, but the idea is the same on any size round blueprint. So we're going to snap roofs on every other wall. If you're doing this on a 10-sided one, it will be every third wall, basically whatever interval the roofs are not touching each other. And once we've got those on, we're going to build a little flamer trap stack. I like to put a rug under this to make it easier to grab and move the whole stack, otherwise I'll end up grabbing like the wrong table at the wrong moment and it's really annoying. Anyway, use whatever tables you want, but I like these ones, and 4 of them is the perfect height for this. Stack up your tables, put your flamer trap and a small generator on top, and move it into position before you connect the wire. Now, burn all those roofs you just put down, and once they're all burned, you can put roofs on the spaces in between. They do like to try and snap to the sides of the burned pieces, so just watch out for that. Make sure you're snapping them to the walls. Now for the next step. Burn the rest so that they're all broken, and now we can start with the middle. You're going to snap flat ones down to every 4th piece, and then go ahead and change them to corner pieces so that they're easier to hit with the flamer trap because, you know, you've got a bigger target here. We're basically just going to repeat what we did with the first ring. The only difference is the height of the flamer stack, which should now be 7 tables high. Now you're going to repeat this process twice more, placing roofs down and burning them, so you'll have 12 pieces in total, with a little gap after every 3rd roof. This last space is a lot easier because all you're going to do here is place down 4 flat roofs on these spaces, which is a little hard to see here with all the glowy yellow shit in the way, sorry, and then put 1 more flat piece in the center of these 4. You can use a flat roof or one of the pointy pieces with the little cupola on it if you prefer, whatever. Go ahead and hit that repair all button on your C.A.M.P module, change these funky roofs back into flat ones, and you are all done. And if you're wondering what that looks like on a 10-sided structure, it's just a ring of 10 roofs with 1 flat one in the middle. Burn and overlap until it's all filled in. Same procedure. So that's it from me today, folks. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. We're going to be doing some really interesting and unexpected things with round roofs in the next part, so don't forget to make sure you're subscribed and you've turned on those channel notifications so you don't miss that. If you liked this and you're interested in supporting the channel, check out that Patreon link down in the description. Join us over on Discord, Instagram, and Twitch. We would love to see you there. And with that, folks, take care of yourselves, be good to each other, and I will see you in the next video.